So what exactly is involved in creating an optimized listing on Amazon? In this video, I'll give you an overview of how I create a listing and how to optimize the title, bullets, and description for the best results. So let's jump right in, but hey, if this is our first time meeting, my name is Crescent, and my passion is sharing tips and strategies on how you can create a successful business on Amazon FBA private labeling. If you enjoy videos like this, or you've been around my channel, hit that like button and share this video with a friend. You'd be doing me a huge favor. Thank you. Let's get started. Now it's very important that you have an optimized listing because an optimized listing will show up better in the search results and ultimately lead to better sales and conversions. And this is because a better title and better photos will attract more eyes in the search results. And then when people visit your listing, it'll be more descriptive and help sell your product to the buyer. So before you create your listing, you need to put together a keyword list of relevant keyword phrases that you can use to optimize your listing in the title, bullets, and description. If you don't do this ahead of time, then you're just guessing what keywords and phrases to use when you're creating your listing. Now the keyword research tool that I like to use is by Jungle Scout called Keyword Scout. And it's the best keyword research tool that I've found to date, and it's replaced all the other keyword research methods that I used to use. Here's Keyword Scout. So what you're gonna do is type in your main keywords. In this case, it'll be rib rack. And now what I would do is export this keyword list into a CSV and save it. And that way I can clean it up in Excel and remove any duplicate keywords. Now, if you have a subscription to the web app for Jungle Scout, Keyword Scout comes with it. And if you don't, there are free keyword research tools, and here's one of them called Keyword Dominator that you can use. Just again, type in your main keywords, okay? And you just copy the keywords into Excel as well. Or you can use keywordtool.io, same deal. And here you can just click here and copy the entire list to CSV. So now you have a list of keywords. You can use the more relevant ones more prominently in your listing title, bullets, and description. Okay, so now you can create your listing. So the first thing you want to do is log into Seller Central and go add a product. You don't want to type in your product here. You want to click on create a new product listing. Okay? And now it's going to ask you what category your product is in. And you want to choose the one that's more relevant or makes the most sense. And it's not too important if you get it close or incorrect, as it only matters if someone searches a specific category trying to look for things, and most people just search in all departments. So just choose what you think is the most relevant, and if you're not sure, just look at the top listings in your niche and see what categories they're in. So for example, if you're not sure, just type in your main keywords and it'll give you some suggestions. So in this case, it's saying it's home and kitchen, patio and garden. Okay, so now let's just go back to Amazon and let's see what the top listings have for their categories and we can compare. So if we scroll down and look at this one, the top listing, and let's take a look at what category they are in. And they are in patio, lawn, and garden, and down into grill racks. Okay, so let's take a look at another one just to be sure here. The second one, if we scroll down, and again, patio, lawn, and garden, and it drills down into cookware, grill racks. Okay, so let's do the same thing. All right, so we're gonna go to patio, lawn, and garden, and grill racks. Okay, looks like this is the correct subcategory. We'll click that. All right, so now we can finally create the listing. So the product ID, I have another video on. This is where you're gonna need a UPC barcode, and you're gonna choose UPC over here, and this will convert the UPC barcode into an FNSKU, and there's another video on this. So the product name, this is the actual title. So you wanna make sure you have an optimized title that goes here, and the brand name would be your store name. So we'll just call it My Store. And the manufacturer is you. Your private label name would be the manufacturer, so we'll just call it My Store. And again, the product name, if you're not sure, you can just put a placeholder here for now and edit it later. And so for the product name, you want to make sure you optimize it so that it can show up in the search results for the most relevant keywords that you're trying to rank for. So in this case, rib racks is the most relevant and broadest keyword phrase for this product. So what I can do is go back to the other listings and kind of get an idea of what they're using for keywords. So for example, stainless steel, non-stick, grilling, barbecue, roasting stand, grills, holder, heavy duty, right? You can use all these main keywords that people are going to use to search and put that in your listing title. So you can also use the keyword list that you put together, and based on the more popular keyword phrases and keywords, use the more popular ones and put them closer to the front of the title, because the title holds the most weight in the search algorithm, okay? So what I would do here, instead of putting stainless steel rib rack or non-stick premium rib rack, those are secondary keywords. The main keyword is rib racks. So I'd want to start it with rib rack and other relevant keywords such as holder, roasting stand, rib rack holder stand for barbecue, grilling, and roasting. And then some people like to separate phrases with commas, but I like using the pipe symbol, and that's the vertical line above the enter key. It's called the pipe symbol. Roasting, let's see, heavy duty. Now what you should do is, whatever you're differentiating on, you should highlight those benefits and features in your title, especially if you're improving the product or fixing an issue. So if one of the common problems with the rib rack is, like they're flimsy or they're falling apart, and you make yours better, then you want to highlight those and make sure the buyer is aware that yours is fixing these problems. So if they are flimsy and non-heavy duty, for example, then I want to put that in the title, that it's heavy duty, sturdy, non-stick, dishwasher safe, maybe durable, non-stick, dishwasher safe, and easy to clean. Okay? So heavy duty, sturdy, durable, non-stick, dishwasher safe, easy to clean. All right, so once you got the title done, you can click on the advanced view and go over to description. Here's going to put in description and the bullet points, which is the key product features, right? And the bullet points, you can add up to 5 lines. So you can click the add more button here and give yourself all 5 lines. And you want to make sure you use all of them. Now, what's important here, and I find a lot of beginners do this backwards, and they put a lot of the features into the bullets and the benefits into description. Now you got to understand human psychology here, and when people are buying something, they're looking for a solution to a problem. They want this product to fix a pain point of some kind that they have. And they usually make a decision based on 2 factors, either to reduce pain or increase pleasure. So if you can hit on those 2 points in your bullet points and talk about the benefits or turn a feature into a benefit, your listing can sell your product to the buyer that's looking at your listing, okay? Because most people don't really care so much about the features, like if it's biodegradable or it's eco-friendly or the sizes and dimensions and stuff. They don't really care as much as, is it going to solve the problem and make my life easier? So in those 5 bullet points, you want to make sure you hit on the benefits, not the features, okay? And then in the description, you can put the features and go, the product is made of this material, it's safer for the environment, and what have you, okay? So in the bullets, you want to sell the product. Use those 5 bullet points to sell the benefits of how it's going to make your life better than everybody else's listing. So you want to put yourself in the mind frame of the person that's visiting your listing. Why would they buy your listing? What problem are they trying to solve? So in the case of this rib rack, I'm going to hit on 5 key benefits that's going to make their life easier or solve a problem that they're having with their grilling or roasting experience. So the first thing I want to say is, and I like to write them in capital letters, Professional grilling results. Okay, so perhaps they're looking for a way to make their meat taste better, look better, present better. So who wouldn't want their food to look more professional? Okay, so I'm going to say, buy my grill rack because it's going to make it look more professional. And I'll give a reason. For example, it stands the ribs upright, so there's no flipping involved. It gets evenly heated. The temperature gets evenly distributed across all of the racks. Okay, stuff like that. Now, the next pain point perhaps is it's difficult to clean. So my rib rack is easy to clean. Okay, and then I'll list the reasons. For example, it's stainless steel or Teflon coated, non-stick. Okay, I'll put that there. And I would put it's great for multiple uses. Okay, multi-purpose. Okay, I'll put it's great for ribs, for chicken, ham, turkey, and even roasting. Okay, list all the benefits there. All right, and then I would put it's made of high quality. And it's stainless steel, it's rust proof, sturdy, durable, doesn't bend. All right, I describe it there. And then lastly, I'd use the other one for compatibility, because people are probably using this on all different types, brands, models of barbecues and grills, right? So compatible with most grills. Okay, and then I would list a whole bunch of them. And again, I would list it based on the keyword research that I did. So there'd be Kenmore, Brinkman, Weber, Green Egg, all these different smokers, barbecues, and grills. List them all. And then now in the product description, I would put the features of the product. So the size, the dimensions, the weight, and the actual material it's made out of, the construction process, and other related material. And it's also important here that you use HTML codes so that you can properly format the description into readable paragraphs. If you don't use HTML code, it all shows up in one single line and it's hard to read. You can't do this in the bullets, but you can in the description. You can bold sentences and you can add carriage returns so that what you're saying is formatted properly in paragraphs. And I have a free tool, which I'll link in the description, that will do that for you. Now, lastly, once you've got your title, description, and bullets all done, and again, using the keywords from your keyword research, you can go to the keywords tab, and down here in the search terms, this is your back-end keyword list. And here's where you don't want to repeat any keywords that you've already used, because if you've already used the keyword in the title, in the bullets, or the description, it's already indexed by Amazon's search algorithm. You don't need to type it in again into these search terms. So any words you've used that's on your keyword list, remove them from the list. Now whatever's left, take the top keywords and put them into the search terms, but you can only put up to 250 characters. So make sure that the most important, most searched keywords left that you haven't used already, and take the first 250 characters. And you can't use more than 250 characters. If you try to use more, you'll get an error and it won't let you save. Now lastly, the photos. The photos are probably the most important aspect of your listing, and you have to make sure that you take very professional photos of your product. I can't emphasize this enough because it's the first thing people see that's going to attract their eye to your listing. So if you have poor photos, poor quality, it's going to do you a disservice. So when you first create your listing, you might not have your product in your hands to take photos or send to a photographer to have photos taken. So what you can do is use a placeholder for now, and it doesn't matter if it's the product or not, as you can always change it later at any time. But in the meantime, if you want, you can ask your supplier for stock photos. And what are stock photos is photos that they've used on their listing, for example, on Alibaba. Ask them if you can use them. And most will have high quality HD photos that you can use that might be watermarked. But make sure when you ask them that they are their own photos and they didn't just Google the photos and they're giving them to you, because you can get in trouble for using copyrighted material and you can actually get sued and have your listing taken down. Okay, so don't copy someone else's photos. Don't copy someone else's listing copy, their actual verbiage. Don't copy anybody's. Write your own literature, take your own photos, and if you're using stock photos from your supplier, make sure they didn't just Google those photos to give to you. Okay, make sure they're unique, your own. Don't copy anybody else's. Use those in your listing. But sometimes the photos from your supplier aren't that great. They're either poor quality or plenty of other sellers are using the same photos. So what you can do is first Photoshop your private label brand onto the photos in the location where your logo is going to be on the product. So you can use that for now. Now, once your product is done manufacturing, get one unit and have it sent to your photographer. And if you don't have one, you can hire one on Fiverr.com. Just search for product photography. There's a whole bunch of really good photographers. Just go through their portfolio and see if their style is what you're looking for and have them take the photos for you. So your main photo needs to be on a white background. You can't have any text, although some people do put text on there and it is against the terms of service, but Amazon doesn't really take any action against it. So what you want to do is make sure you have clear photos showing your product, the main photos on a white background, and the size for the zoom function to work is a minimum of 1000 by 1000 pixels, okay? So anything bigger than that, and when people hover over the picture, it'll zoom in on it. If it's less, the zoom will not work, okay? Now, what I recommend you do is take clear photos of the product, but also include 2 or 3 lifestyle photos. And what lifestyle photos are photos of your product in use. So someone holding it, using it in whatever environment that product is for. And make sure you have your photographer take really good ones, and if it requires models or a setting of some kind, you might have to pay a little bit more, but you do get what you pay for here, because remember, photos is the most important part of your listing. Now, another thing you can add, which I recommend too, depending on the product, is to have a comparison chart where you highlight the features of yours versus your competitors. And lastly, although it is also against the terms of service because photos of your product need to be the actual product, but you can also hire someone on Fiverr to do 3D rendered images of your product, and those come out really nice. And I've started using that myself, because once they create a 3D model of the product, you can place that in any setting, and once it's rendered out, it looks photorealistic. And sometimes it looks even cleaner than using the real product itself. So that's one bonus tip for you that you can use in your tool bag. All right, let me know in the comments if you found this helpful, or if you have any questions. I answer them all. And if you're looking for more in-depth and detailed videos on this, I do have more content on my channel. Feel free to browse through them. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And as always, thanks for watching.